All of you, welcome back to yet another video. In this video, I'll give you a complete roadmap for a blockchain developer in 2025. That what are things you have to learn and how you have to start. What are the requirements you need to have as a developer before you jump straight away to the blockchain development. So here I have the complete roadmap which we're going to discuss in detail, and I'm going to provide you this particular link so you can simply visit and check that what are the things you have completed, what are the things are left, and how your progress is going on. So this is the complete roadmap which I have highlighted here. So first you have to understand that before you jump straight away to the blockchain development, what are the prerequisites you need to have and what exactly you're going to learn in blockchain development and how it's different for a normal development. So first let's talk about that what are things you're going to learn in blockchain development. So the entire blockchain development is revolve around these 5 modules: smart contract, dApp, DeFi, NFT, and Web3. This is all what you have to focus in blockchain development, and it has specific tool to become a blockchain developer. So here I have built this particular roadmap web page where you can come and you can simply track your entire progress. So this is the progress bar you will have, and here we have total 64 models. I have defined that how many hours, how many weeks is going to take you to master each one of these particular phase. So here we have the complete learning journey which you have to follow. So if you are a beginner, if you are intermediate, or if you are advanced, you can pick that what you know, what are things you have to learn, and based on that you can simply follow this particular roadmap. So in the very first phase, we have the fundamentals which you have to know. So there I keep the necessary requirement which you have to have as a blockchain developer before you jump straight away and learn all the required technology which we have to master as a Web3 developer. So first thing I would suggest that you need to have basic understanding. I'm not telling you to be master in JavaScript, but you have to have a basic understanding of ECMA 6 in JavaScript, the class constructor, and that's what I have mastered. Just learn 20%, that would be enough for you. When you go start working on the project, you will also master in detail. So learn about JavaScript, ECMA 6 feature. You have to have a basic understanding of Node.js, that how you can install the package, what are the packages we have, how we can manage this node environment in our system. That's what you have to focus. You have to learn about the synchronous programming, that how you're going to make the call when you are calling the function, how it's going to be stacked upon it, how you are fetching the data, how every call is happening. You have to learn about Git and GitHub, because there you're going to manage your project, there you're going to simply maintain your project, and that's what we follow in the industry. So you have to learn about it. You have to have a basic understanding of HTML, CSS, and you have a basic web development skill. I'm not telling you to be master, just basic. 10 to 15% is enough for you. You can focus on the code technology which we have in the Web3. 10% skill for web development is enough. You can easily able to grab that 1 week. It's not a big deal. Then you have to have a basic understanding of API and HTTP protocol, because sometimes what happens, we have to interact with external data resources which we're going to call inside the application. It's also very easy. We have a couple of libraries which you have to focus. We have a couple of structure which we have to focus to make the call. So you don't need to be understanding the complete structure, just understand the basic and how you can call the API endpoints in the project. Then you have to focus on the project data structure and algorithm. This one is a little bit advanced one, but I would suggest you to have a basic understanding of it, because this will help you to design the function, design the structure of the application in a proper way, so later you can utilize it to for the scaling purpose. And you have to have a basic understanding of debugging, that how you can debug, what are the tools we have, how we can debug in the browser, how we can debug in the console, what are the components we can design for debugging. So this is the few things which you have to know, and this is your prerequisite. Once you master this, or if you already have this, then you can start focusing straight away to the blockchain fundamentals, blockchain technology, which you have to know. This is the basic requirement you need to have, and you can easily able to master this requirement in 4 to 6 weeks. I've given this huge time period, but you can easily able to do all of this if you have a basic understanding within 2 weeks. For better practices, I have added, for example, like it will take 3 days to 4 days for each one of this topic. So if you do this, you are absolutely ready for learning the blockchain technology. Now come back to the second phase of the roadmap. 3 to 4 weeks, assuming that you already have all of these skills, now you can start focusing on the blockchain. First, you have to understand what is blockchain is and why we have to use it. You have to understand about the distributed system. You have to understand about the cryptography and hash function, because this is what it's all about. When you will make the transaction, this is what exactly is going to follow. You have to understand about the digital signature. You have to understand about the concession mechanism. We have multiple one. You have to understand that what it is and how you can utilize it in the project. You have to understand about the Bitcoin white paper. You have to understand about Ethereum and the smart contract. What is EVM compatible chain? What are the relevant EVM we have right now in the industry? What is the difference between that? You have to understand about it. You have to learn about the gas and transaction fee, that when you will write any data on the chain, what is the gas fee, how it's get designed, how it's get calculated. That's the basic. It's totally a theoretical part. It won't take you more than a week. I given 3 weeks, but you can easily able to complete this in a single week with a proper document. So whatever you are learning, try to make a proper document so you can easily able to review that. Okay, this is the second phase of the roadmap. Now come back to the third phase, which is the Solidity smart contract developer. There you're going to learn about the programming language which you have to use to writing the contract which is going to be deployed on the EVM compatible chain. So you have to learn Solidity. You have multiple options, but EVM chain is the most popular. Most of the contract you will find, and tons of community, tons of contract you will find. So it will help you to faster your development. So that's why I'm highlighting Solidity. Once you focus on Solidity, if you be good in Solidity, after that you can easily take that knowledge and enter into other programming languages like Go, Rust, which you can also use it for writing a contract. We have a Rust for Solana ecosystem. So those programming language you can learn, but not at the initial stage. So learn about Solidity. Once you're done with that, you have to understand about the smart contract structure, that how you can structure the smart contract, how you have to design the smart contract. You have to understand about the data types and variables, what type of data types we have in Solidity and why it's different from other programming language. Then you have to understand about the function and modifiers. Then you have to understand about the role of the events and login, practice, inheritance, library. Because when you go to write the smart contract, we have popular libraries like Chainlink. We have a library for OpenZip, how you can utilize it in your existing contract to have certain feature. You have to understand about the handling error. You have to understand about writing your first contract. This will help you to understand the complete architecture, which help you to master all of this. So that's the second phase, and here you're going to spend, let's say, like 6 weeks is enough. If you give your 100%, 6 weeks is enough to master the complete programming language for Solidity. Once you're done with that, now come back to the fourth phase where you have to focus on the environment. This won't take you much because here we have to focus mainly on the tool which we have to utilize in the blockchain development. So we have the Remix ID, which is the very powerful online ID which allows us to write the contract, customize it, test it, deploy it, and generate the ABI. So Remix ID. Then you have to understand about Hardhat is the most demandable framework right now in the Web3 environment, where you have to write the entire contract, where you're going to do the unit testing and tons of testing you can do with the help of this framework. We have the Truffle. It's exactly the same. So you can pick either Hardhat or Truffle, but Hardhat is the most demandable at the moment. We have the Ganache, and also learn about the environment, which is quite equivalent to the Hardhat. So once you will master Hardhat, you can easily able to understand both of this. Then we have the crypto wallet, where you have to focus on Metamask is the most and widely used crypto wallet you will find, where you can also build your own crypto wallet if you really want to take your skills to the next level. We already have a couple of projects where you can build your own Metamask clone. So you have to understand about the connect to test network, that how you can connect to the test network and how you can simply do the testing of the contract. You have to learn about the deployment strategy. You have to learn about the practice, manage your project on the Git environment. So that's your fourth stage. After that, you have to focus on Web3 integration. And this one is the very important because you're going to write the smart contract and the contract is deployed on the blockchain. Now you have to build that connection, that bridge, so the contract can communicate with the user. So Web3 is the very powerful library which allow you to make that communication. So we have this Web3.js library, we have Ether.js libraries, we have Web3 providers, we have a front end where we can call the smart contract, we can allow the user to call the function right from the front end. It can be executed on the chain. Then we have the handle wallet connection. You can provide multiple wallet options, like we have a Wing, we have other wallet providers like a custom models. We have a signer transaction. So because not every user going to be a developer, so you have to build a system where user can sign the transaction from the front end so it can go back to the blockchain. You have to understand that how you can build a DApp blockchain even in real time and update the entire data in the front end so user can have that particular information. So this is what you have to know. This front-end integration is also a very huge market right now in most of the company, because smart contract developer will write the code, front-end developer will code the front-end part, and you as a blockchain developer, blockchain integrator, going to connect and break that bridge so user can communicate with the blockchain with the front-end. Okay. After that, you have to focus on advanced smart contract development. And this one is the important section because you have already learned about the Solidity programming language. Now there are a couple of advanced concepts which you have to master if you want to take your smart contract development skill to the next level. So if you really want to learn complete blockchain development from beginner to advanced, I would highly suggest you to check this particular one. Check this particular course in which you will master complete blockchain development and all the required technology which you have to master, including the smart contract security in the contract front end, and you're going to learn every single technology which you have to learn to master complete blockchain development. So I would highly encourage you to check this particular one. It has more than 80 hours plus, and you will going to build one of the most industry ready project. Let's come back to the topic now. Come back here, and that's what we have. You're going to learn about the ERC20, ERC71, that how you can utilize this model in your DApp, where you can allow to sell this token and get capital for your application. Then we have the cross control patterns, how you can build that. Then we have the master upgradability pattern, because this one is going to be quite popular, where you can allow the user to have a feature to upgrade the contract, because all you know that once the contract is deployed, it cannot be changed. But we have this upgraded model, and that's what we have covered extensively in the complete course. Then we have the gas optimization. This one is also an important part of the smart contract, that how you can optimize the contract, the front end part and the smart contract, so it can consume less gas when the user will make the transaction. Then we have the security best practices, multi-signing wallet, we have the complex DeFi protocol, we have the practice oracle and external data, how you can get the external data to validate in the contract and provide the feature. We have a couple of libraries which we can use like Chainlink, Oracle. These are the popular things we have. So once you're done with the advanced phase, now come back to the testing and deployment, and this is going to be the future of the development, because you cannot have the testing and deployment straight away without having all of the skills. This all skill is very important. Then you can able to master the testing and deployment, and it's going to be a huge industry in the future, because most of the contract can be generated with the help of AI, but you as a human, you have to test the contract, and it's going to hold billions of dollars. You don't want to use a contract which can be compromised and lose fund. So you're going to spend a lot of time during the testing and deployment phase. So we have unit tests, we have integrating tests, we have a test driven development, we have the deployment script, we have the contract verification, we have CI CD pipelines, we have a mainnet deployment, and we have learning, monitoring and maintenance. So this one is also very important. So this one is going to be a huge industry, and you cannot achieve this unless or until you complete the previous phases. Now come back to the last one, which is the special deployment. So here we have tons of things, that what kind of deployment project you can build. So we can build a DeFi application, NFT marketplace, DAO governance, layer 2 solution, cross-chain development, build Web3 gaming. We can build a decentralized identity solution like open source project. So these are the important projects. You can also check all of this project we have on our channel and build at least 5 of them. Once you will master 5 of them, you will have the complete understanding that how you can build a real business on the decentralized ecosystem. So these are the complete phases which I have designed, that what exactly you have to learn and how you have to start. This one is really very important. Now if you come back here, I have given you some resources which you can follow, which you can explore. So you can see smart contract development. You can come back here, you can see this is the average salary, but it can go higher based on the experience you will have. What are the things you need to have? You need to have a Solidity, Hardhat, Web3.js, security auditing and gas optimization, which we have covered extensively in the project. So this is what you need to have as a Solidity smart contract developer. If you come back to the DApp development, it's also very high demanded, and most of the project you will find in the startup field. So what are the things you need to have? JavaScript is absolutely must. If you know the JavaScript, all of these things can be easily coverable. You can cover all of that. You can use the libraries, you can integrate that, you can build that all the functionality. So this is the project we have. We have the DeFi developer. This will help you to understand the protocol, that how you can communicate with different blockchain, different contract, how you can get it into your project. And this one is also a very high salary range, because it's working on the money field. We are working on a decentralized exchange where user will use to trade. So that's why it's a high demanding sector. Come back here, we have the Web3 developer. Then you will find that what are things you have to know, what is the average salary. That's all I have given. Now come back to the blockchain architecture. This one is also a very high demand, because you're going to focus most of the time designing the architecture, building the system to perform the entire feature which you want to provide to the user. So this one is also really important. Now come back to the NFT marketplace, and this is one is the huge market. This NFT model can be utilized into any business, whether it's a supply chain, real estate, music industry, NFT drop, tons of feature, tons of business model where you can utilize this one, and you have to understand. And this is what exactly you're going to develop in the complete project. So let's close this one. So these are the few things which you have, the career option which you have, which you can explore. Now, if you come back to the development resources, which I have already provided, like Remix ID, where you can go and you can check the resources, you can simply do the testing, write the sample code and do the testing. Come back to the Hardhat. This one is a really powerful framework which allow you to test, write, and you can able to use the regular library which is really popular in the Web3 ecosystem. We have the Truffle, is exactly the same. We have the Guinness, which is same. You can also read the documentation of Metamask. It's a really powerful platform which allow you to do the transaction in the Web3 ecosystem. You can check their model to understand cryptography, or if you want to build your own Metamask clone, you can simply check this particular project and build your own. We have the Web3.js, which is a really powerful tool which allow you to communicate with the blockchain, and without this you cannot able to make the communication. You have the HTTP and WebSocket. These are the models we have. You can simply check the resources. So this is a complete roadmap which you have to follow, if you really want to master complete blockchain development. This one is a really powerful roadmap. You have to learn step by step. You can also able to track down the progress bar, that how much you have scored, how many hours you have hold, hours of coding, master skill, phase done, and that's all we have. So I hope you have understood that what exactly you have to follow to become a blockchain developer in 2025, and what are things are required for you to master and become blockchain developer. If you really want to learn about the blockchain developer, I would highly encourage you to check this one. It will give you a proper idea that what exactly you have to know and how the things exactly work, and how you can build a real world application in a web blockchain development. So that's the only thing from my end. If you have any question, any doubt, do let me know in the comment section. I'll definitely try to help in that. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.